It is another edition of the On the Mic podcast. And as we wrap up 2023, there's no better way to really close out the year without speaking to the champ from PFL, Impa Kasanganay here. Impa here for the first time on the show. Thank you for joining me. Quite the year for you.
Man, God is great, man. How you doing? It's been a great year. I'm looking forward to next, right? Back to work, training. Just glad. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, what a fantastic run you've been on. And your story is just exactly why I love covering the sport. This podcast I cover all sports, NFL, NBA, all that. But your story and just this year for you, that's why MMA is such a beautiful thing. Can you really put into words, after winning 2023, getting the belt, all the grand prize money, can you put into words what this year has been like for you?
Yeah, man. This year, like if I put it in simple terms, God is great. That's all I can say. Um, the more elaborative answer to elaborate on that, it's like um, having faith, right, and working hard counts for something. And staying in the gym, having training partners that challenge you, having trainers and coaches that see in you what you're not seeing in yourself yet and telling you the honest truth and challenge you to be better. There's something to be said for that. And when you have focus, discipline, determination, and like you think about things differently, you want things to be done differently, so you do things differently, that your life will change. And I'm more than grateful, more than glad to be part of PFL. And yeah, I appreciate you having me on. It's just one of the things like, even moments like this, you're like, man, people want to talk, people want to, like, you realize that, like, you, it's all worth it when you make those sacrifices and everything, from leaving accounting to in the car to going to people going up 2A classes, going up a new weight class, whatever it may be. It's a cool place to be. And that's what this year is like. Just thank God for my family, thank God for my team, and thank God I get to be here. That's how I can really put that all together.
Well, I should say you shouldn't be surprised people want to talk to you. I'm going to embarrass myself here. I actually ran into you a few times at a Bellator show in South Dakota earlier this year, but I had heard you already talking to other like media that was there that week, and I was like, I don't want to bother him. We've never met.
Oh,
I was like, so I'll just let him do his thing. But that's also a credit to you, right? Because some fighters, they not only lose their humbleness, as we've seen in other promotions over this past weekend, but also sometimes the spotlight or the stage can become who they are. You just even keel all the way throughout. Now in a 6-fight win streak, doing everything you accomplished this year. The simple question for me is, did you always know you would get here?
yeah, man. It's just I guess the first part, it's like, you see that. I think fighters and people in general get lost in life. Like, you think your identity is the title, the belt, the money. That's something that represents you, but it's not who you are. It's like I said, it's like honoring God and do my job. Like, I'm God's child, and I just focus on Him. Everything else that comes up with is great. So whether I have nothing or I have a lot, like, I know whose I am. So to help answer the question, it's yeah. Like, I was always I didn't get an MMA to lose, and I didn't get an MMA to be anything less than a champion, and that was my stead, and focus on myself. And I made mistakes along the way. I'm gonna say 7-fight win streak. I won that ego fight, but I'm gonna say that. But I I'm grateful because it's like, man, like, I'm looking forward to taking over next year. I'm looking forward to getting the title again next year. Title next year, right? When that time comes, unification and in the season, and or if it's I go down the weight class and get that title, whatever the case, may be what God has in plan. Like, man, it's like I hate when I see guys like forget that, and it's like you think you're the talk of the town. Like, life is interesting. There's so much to learn. It's cool to talk to people, man. I always say, like, I wish you said hello to me and talk to me more, because I always have a rule, like, I'll never say no to an interview unless I really, really am not able to. Like, I said, well, if we can't do it now, maybe we can do it down the road. But if you ask me about an interview and I see it, I always say yes. Those moves and those are amateur. And I understand that my schedule of life and things like that, but at least like 10 interviews a month where maybe somebody, oh, it's not this major thing. I'm like, it's whatever. It's like, it's a human being that wants to talk to you. I'm like, shoot, let's talk, man. I can talk about you, like the Chicago Bears. I say, it's like, for me, it's one of those things. I'm like, it's life. Like, don't think you're like, I've met people who do some pretty incredible things. Let's like talk about a doctor or a police officer, or the person who's protecting somebody's kid walking across the crosswalk. I mean, that's a pretty cool job if you think about it. Like, there's somebody trusting somebody. You got hired to make sure kids get across the crosswalk. And like, then I'm gonna go around and be this fighter who thinks that I'm more important than they are. Maybe people like to. Nobody's really watching the crosswalk person. Be like, I'm gonna go watch this big event. But that thing is like maybe for somebody who walked me across the street one day and now I'm alive and I get to be here because who knows how many kids accidentally get hit by a car because they don't pay attention. Or they just don't know. Like, so I think people kind of make themselves too mighty. And it's like I just say like God is so much bigger than me that why would I try to like make me think I'm bigger than other people? You know, like, I'm grateful that people like what I do. That's cool. But I'm telling you, if you have me in a room like this empty room right here, and it was a fight, and you said, "Hey, we'll pay you the same. You're gonna make your money. You're gonna make $1 million. You're gonna do this." I'm like, fine. I love to fight. Let me go fight, and I'll go home. Let's go across the street, and I'll go get Waffle House or something, or some chicken wings, or just get on my motorcycle and let me be.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm not one of those people who's like. I'm not. I don't see the point. You know, for me, it's just I'm loving what I get to do, doing what I love, and I love the life I live, and that's cool that I get to share with people, and I want people to be committed to their own adventure. So yeah, man, I appreciate you, and I'm glad we got talking now. But I would have been glad to talk then too, and I appreciate the consideration too. But nah, like this is my job. I think sometimes fighters like they get overwhelmed. Everybody's going through something in life, so I'm not going to put anybody down. What I would say with that is just like it is your job. Like you're a professional fighter, and when you do like the extracurricular things, it comes together well.
Absolutely. Two things. One, we don't have to talk about the Chicago Bears. They're pretty depressing, especially in December.
Sorry.
But ironically enough, I actually was a crossing guard in 8th grade. It was like kind of like a
What?
mandatory. Yeah, we had to do it
My
in 8th
man.
grade.
My
But
man.
and here we are now. I'm 31 and now covering this sport. But you're clearly a man built off of faith, and I love that. And you know, with all that, the easy answer is God and you know your faith in Him. But where does your resolve come from? Because, you know, having ups and downs in your career, not even just wins or losses, just days you didn't want to get up and go to the gym, you know, or days where it was hard to be in the gym. Where did you find that resolve within yourself to continuously keep pushing and get to where you are?
Well, it's funny. It's like, look, I don't relate to the point where I never want to not be in the gym. It's because I think I'm like addicted to it. You know, it's like I just love it. So it's not that, but I've had moments in training where I'm like last fight, I was like, okay, I know I'm ready to fight. All right, like you know, it's like you're getting coaches on. You're like, all right, okay, okay, cool. So yeah, okay, like I focus on this, you know. And nothing against it, it's just like I'm ready to go. I'm ready to get after it. But my resolve is like, yes, Christ, you know, for sure. I feel like Christ is in me. I'm enough. I'm inspired by my parents and my family, and like a lot of historical events, like whether it's biblical, whether it's like, you know, world events too. And I take the warrior's path. Where like, I'm not going to be fighting and go get a great accounting job and work my way up and put the work ethic, but that's not what I'm called to do. So I focus on the vision that God's given me. And when I go through something, I know it's not going to be like that forever. I had a coach in high school, a track coach, who said, "You run, you run, you run, you run, you run." He'd be like, "No, it's my brain." Like, no, you can't kill me. that was like always the thing. So no matter how challenging and how much strain the body would do, I was like, well, I'm not going to die from this. So I'll keep pushing. And I'm willing to. I always wanted to see, can you push me? I have this thing like, can you push me up to the point that I'm gonna die? Like in a workout, in a fight, like let's go there. And I think it's pretty cool. Like it's nothing like, oh, I'm trying to stuck out or like put somebody down or kill. Like, it's just more so, wow, like that's a pretty cool place to get to. Like you go like these Navy SEALs, I was inspired by like military, like special operators, like they push themselves to a point where they want to go into the challenge. And when I see a challenge, I'm inspired by the challenge. So when it's, you know, going to take out, for instance, Ghana, take out Nemkov, John Mayabling fight, take them out too, wherever guy's playing. But like every single fighter that I'd want to fight in person, I see as an opportunity and a challenge, right? Like I think like every training partner you have, oh, you there? Sorry.
Yeah, I'm here.
Every training partner you have is your opponent that day, but not every training partner you have is your enemy. But every opponent you have in a fight is also your enemy. So how cool is that? And I get excited. I'm happy to fight. I'm like, man, this is cool. Like I love it in there. So that's what my resolve. So when I go through things in life, I just treat it as if it's a fight. I'm like, this is an opportunity to be better. This is an opportunity to figure it out. And like, man, God's blessed me. I'm alive. I can do what I do, and I'm gonna go get after it. And look at my parents. My dad came to this country with $16 in his pocket. My mom, she works the longest shift she's ever worked, and it's been many times. She's worked as many hours on the shift. She's worked 20 hours on the shift many times. She worked at 2 hospitals, and she's never, ever, neither one of my parents have never complained. I've been alive for 29 years. Well, technically 30 if you count my 0 to 1 years old. Not once have I ever heard them complain. Not once. And I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna cry about me getting to do something I love that puts me on ESPN, that puts me on $1 million. Like, oh no, no, no. So for me, it's like the parents didn't even know I was living in a car at the time, right? And I was just like, yeah, I'm going to the gym, going to train clients, going to the beach. Like you're at the beach a lot. I'm like, yeah, the beach is nice. It's actually fun. I have a motorcycle and I ride around. But I just told myself, it's like they never complained. They put the work in. I had the opportunity to move back in North Carolina to be comfortable in decent home, good neighborhood. But I wasn't where I was like called to be. And I knew that if I didn't stay here, I'd waste what God's given me. And he'd go use somebody else. So it was like my resolve comes from just like knowing who I am in Christ, knowing who I am as a Kasanganay, and knowing that like I'm called to be a warrior. And I love it. And how cool is it? It wasn't even like, oh, make this money. I mean, there are a lot more comfortable ways to make money in life than being a fighter. You see it. That's not what I wanted. It's not call for me. It's good to build other things, but I knew for this call of my life, like that's a lot more important than anything I could be doing at the time.
Well, I know MMA is happy to have a representative like you. You mentioned a list of possibilities going into 2024. So first question with a short term answer, first 6 months of 2024, what's on your agenda to start the year?
First 6 months, 2024. So that'll be probably, I would imagine, if I'm waiting on their schedule, but title unification or go down, get the second title at middleweight, and then go into the season. When the season starts, they'll get that title too. Then, I mean, I would love to, the season probably ends in November, but I'm down to fight in December too. So do that and then go for another motorcycle ride. I'd like to go to Italy, go to Congo, go to some different places. But yeah, for me, it's like, if you're going to dominate, I'm on a warpath, right? And I'd love to have, like, if I can get 6 fights next year, it'd be great. If I get 8 fights, even better. It's like, but have get a unified title or a second weight class title, and depending on the schedule, and then go right into the season, go dominate, and get all finishes, right?
I already knew as a fan, I was a fan of you as a fighter and as a person after especially not talking to you, but you want to be so active next year. I absolutely love that. Like you don't hear that at people who have reached the mountaintop, but your mountain continues to grow. So your goals continue to grow as well. So I love that. Obviously you mentioned some other names. PFL purchased Bellator. That's obviously the big news to close out the year. Are you welcoming all Bellator competition with open arms?
100%. 100%. Like whoever, whenever, wherever, right? I mean, I'll fight twice in the night. I've always wanted to do that. I have not got the opportunity to do that yet. It'd be really cool because I remember PFL used to have that, right? It'd be really cool. I'll do 2 5-rounders in a day. That'd be fun. Like that'd be like we did 2 scheduled 5-rounders per guy to get 2 finishes. It'd be nice. But yeah, man, I love it. Like I love it. I mean, I always imagine like if I was born in another time. When I was a kid, I'd pray, God, could I be born in another time and wake up as a warrior? And I would just wake up in the morning and be upset. Like, why wasn't I like? I thought I prayed about this. But I've been blessed with this, and I think about when you go to battle, right? And this is what I draw inspiration from. Guys would go to battle and you take out this guy. You have to fight 20 other people, and they would come back alive and they're none of the great warriors. I'm like, just could you imagine getting to do that? No. Nobody died in MMA, not saying that, but it's like, how cool is it that you can be on a path and you fight and you fight and you fight and you fight, and how cool of a challenge is that to me? So that's what I love. And like, I love to stay active. Like, why would I not want to do my job? You get to travel the world, you get to be with people you love, you get to get in fights, you get to go. Like you met the PFO staff, they're pretty cool. So they're really, really cool. Like I got some cool people, so I talk to them, I bother them, see what they're doing. Man, I get to share these moments with people I love, and like my parents can take some time from work and just like have a good time. And I get to go do what I love. That's fight, right? I get to go with some of my best friends, Corvette, Peyton, Joe. I got Delano with me. Like I'm like, I don't know. I mean, like if I get 8 moments like that a year, that's pretty cool. If I get 20, great. I used to think it'd be kind of fun if there's like a league that had fights every weekend, right? Except for like the holidays, like Christmas and stuff like that. But so you get like a 46, and then you fight and you fight and you fight and you fight. That'd be cool. But I'm off through your brain, and that's why I'm not making those decisions. But man, I love it. I love to fight. I love to train. I asked Coach if I can spar tomorrow. Like, can I start light? He's like, all right.
I hear you on the wishing you were born in other times. I'm nothing more than 5'7" and 150 pounds. And I'm always like, the Viking days must have been so cool. Just grabbing people out of ships and pulling
Yeah,
up like somewhere in Iceland. Like I
yeah,
know it's Hollywood, emphasized, but I'm like Game of Thrones. I was like, who wouldn't have loved that time? Yeah,
see,
who wouldn't have
see,
loved? So I'm with you on those times, right? It's the weirdest thing because I grew up in the city. I was never like some country guy, and then like my family's like, why are you so? I was like, I don't know. I'm just enamored with Viking days. Like they're like
right?
anything else. I'm like, no, Viking days. Like that's it.
They're
I
pretty cool.
yeah, it is
They're
very
pretty
cool.
cool.
You mentioned three names. You mentioned
Mhm.
Johnny Eblin, Nemkov, and Francis Ngannou. Which one of them do you think would be the most interesting fight for you?
What do you mean by interesting?
The one that most people would want to see, and the one you believe that you would have the best. Not that you would think any of them would beat you, but it would be the best fight for you from a viewer standpoint and a reward standpoint.
Francis Ngannou. He's one of the premier guys in fighting and in history. He's done great work. I like Francis. I think I'm actually inspired by him. I met him once, a few years ago, and it was cool. He made fun of me. Said I'm not a real African because I didn't speak French. I'm like, thanks, Francis. But yeah, like I respect what he's done and what he's doing. And like I really want the Nemkov fight and Edwin fight. I always say like one of my best friends is Aaron Jeffrey, and that's who I actually went out to go help in Sioux Falls. I know they talked about me fighting Edwin. Like people in general ask those questions. I don't know what the PFL's thinking if that's even the case. But I never like AJ knows me. Like I never turned down a fight. I never do anything like that because that's who I'm called to be, right?
Okay.
So I respected it, and also credit to Johnny Edlin. He's a good fighter. He's done very well. Nemkov the same, right? Like I want to see what Nemkov's plan is. I want to see if he's gonna fight, if or whatever the case may be. Francis too. Like I want the best. I want the challenges. Like I'm not here to go like, oh, I'm gonna go challenge myself against Francis. I want the competition. I'm like, no, I'm here to dominate him, claim that victory, finish him, and move forward. All three of them, like back to back weekends, back to back months, whatever the case may be. Like not a trash talker. I'm not here to like make it some hype train or get clout. Like send the contract, I sign it, and I move forward. That's it. And I say, oh, I gotta do my job. So Francis for sure. Like I mean, of course he earned it. Like I guess to have a fight that draws the viewership, has a fight that brings out what people want to see. It's like, okay, why would this guy fight these weight classes before, move up to light heavyweight, become champion, and want to move up? Like, there's something different about him. Yeah, like let me show you like what God's been doing through me, right? Like I'm grateful, but it's like if I wouldn't I wouldn't back down from anything. For me, it's not one of those things. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna just not go take that. Nobody brought it up. Like, hey, you should fight Francis. Nobody's like, hey, like, you know what? This would be a good fight for you to call him out. Like, no, like I've been before even I fought Martin Hamlet, before I even fought, I knew it was even the season. I said, I'm gonna get that title. Then I'm gonna go out after Francis because like I'm here to be the best. I'm here to take over. I would be honored to be the face of PFL. I'd be honored to do this because I want to represent right. So you have to earn that. And I'm like, that's what I like about PFL. I was in the UFC, yes, for sure. God bless him. It was a fun time. I love everybody on staff there too. They're really cool. I've never had a problem with people really. Such been cool like ever. So it's like I look at it like I'm happy that I'm here. France has done great work. And the UFC, like you fight maybe once, twice, three times, maybe, but like you're like pass a fight, trash like do this. It's kind of like politics a little bit. PFL, I'm like, give me Rob Wilkinson, give me I was in the season at the time, Maheta, give me Josh, respect to Josh, Hamlet. I don't care if it's the toughest side of the bracket. Like I'll take them all out, and then let me go earn it. Like it's a blue collar work. I'll put my lunch pail on, put my blue collar shirt on. I'm here to work. I just strap my boots up and I go. Like I'm not one of those people like I need to talk about it. I need to insult them. Like I don't have anything to insult them. I don't even know them. So I don't have a good insult to give them. But I do know that you wrap my hands, you put the gloves on, you lock the cage. I listen to my trainers. I'm gonna go and do my job. I'm gonna do what I need to do. I'm gonna come up with to finish my hand raise. So like that's why I want that, and I'll never stop calling for that. If it's a God put it on my heart not to get it, then it's okay. Like I'm content, but that's not what I'm hearing. That's not what I'm feeling, and I believe I'll get that Francis Ngannou fight. Soon enough, and I'll take out Nimcobb, I'll take out Edwin, I'll take out whoever, and I'll earn it. I'll even move to heavyweight next season if they want me to, and I'll be like, let me go take those guys out. Let me go get that. Whatever the case may be, like when it's all said and done, like my goal is to be the best to ever do it. Honor God and do my job, and I move forward. And I'm grateful that I'm in an organization where I can like show that I can earn it. Not that I'm like, oh, I keep asking for this fight, no, and I get it. You know,
Yeah.
and I think there are different ways to earn in the UFC. Like I think guys do earn their shots. Like I'm not saying they haven't. Like so many solid fighters have been like, look at Shopcut. Shopcut should be next in line for a title. I would say, right? Like he's done good work, so he's earned it. You know, and he's not a talker, which is what I love. Like he just does his work, he finishes guys, he moves forward, and I'm inspired by that. Like Jason Jackson, he moved his way up, kept fighting, became a title holder. Someone Gilbert fought for title because he's such a cool guy and he's a leader in the gym. You know, they fell short in that moment. He still earned it. Like he didn't have to talk trash. You know, it's just like I'm not saying that's how it always is. I'm saying for me and where I am right now, how I water my grass is I just keep working. I keep working. I keep working. I keep working. Not just, but I keep working daily. So let's say viewership wise, Francis, Nemkov as well. Evelyn, like Evelyn's an ATT guy, I believe. Nemkov's trained there as well. And then you have Francis. So it's like, you know, they want to build that ATT Kimpa thing, whatever it may be. Like that's a person that I'm fighting. I'm not like I represent my team. It's like, but you play that up too. Like all I want to do is keep fighting. Give me 10 fights next year. I'll do showcase fights in between. My coaches might think I'm saying crazy. Like, what are you doing? But I'm like, man, like, oh, sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
Um, man, I love being on the mats. I love being in the cage. I love having my hands wrapped. I love fighting and ready to go.
Well, I won't keep you for too much longer, and I appreciate you giving me your time today. Obviously, we can mention all these names. It would be dumb of me to not ask you when you mention a guy like Francis who came over to the PFL. I got to mention other people, no matter what people think of them as a fighter. And I've been mistaken about this person in the past as well. When you have guys like Jake Paul come into PFL and Francis, they're not the same, but they're putting their money, they're putting their name, they're attaching all of it. Now you see or hear these rumors of a Deontay Wilder fight possibly coming in 2024 with Francis. And yes, you respect the UFC, but PFL is opening so many doors of possibilities where 5 years ago you were like, we may never see a mixed rules fight between one of the best heavyweights ever and a boxer, but PFL is opening that door for a guy who has gone through the trenches of the PFL. How excited does that make you to see like, oh, my company is doing it this way, and it's going to bring so many more eyes, so much more attention, and it's going to be beneficial for all of us.
Yeah, that's what I love. It's like rising tide raises all ships, right? And Francis is really leading in a great way. He's going to fight, he beat Fury. He's out here taking Deontay Wilder. I believe he gets him, especially in a mixed rules fight. Man, uh, Wilder better be ready. Better be ready. Because Francis is smart too. Like when he fought Cyril Gane, he didn't just go try to box. He took him down. He wrestled. He did his thing. So it's like it's cool that the PFL, Pete Murray, Don Davis, Eduardo, Ray Sefo, the entire staff, the operations, right? Like they're Greg Savage, like everybody's doing something that's like helping this move forward, right? And the fact that I get to be a part of it excites me. The fact that I get part of it, like, there are opportunities for me to take advantage of.
I think
I'm
my
thankful.
favorite I think my favorite thing you said today was that you'd be honored to be the face of the PFL. I would argue, no matter celebrity status, I think you're one of the faces of the PFL, and I think you're what the PFL stands for. I think you're what the PFL was built for. Impa Kasanganay, not only do I want to say thank you, but what do you want everyone to know about 2024 for you and just your fighting career?
Well, thank you for having me on. Like, I mean, it means a lot. Seriously, thank you for saying that. It's an honor. First of all, thank you for having me on again. PFL, thank you for organizing this, and Gabby and everybody. Tony, 2024. So, it's the year of uncharted waters. Right? It's the year that there's a major change in MMA. There's a year that like the best are starting to fight each other even more, right? But like I said, a rising tide raises all ships, and like I love that. And when I go in these uncharted waters, I'm building a warship. I'm not building a little sailboat or a little yacht. Like we have that Viking warship going to take over. And right for me, this year, my best year yet, most dominant year. Trusting God, focusing forward. And I want everybody to know, like, I'm an accessible champion. Like, reach out to me, stop by the gym, come by the gym, hang out outside, talk to us. We're private gyms, so respect the gym rules. But I'm glad to meet anybody, talk about it. And if I don't see a message, it's not because I'm not wanting to be rude. Like hopefully can get like, filtered in a way so I can start seeing things. But it's more so 2024 is going to be a year where I believe MMA changes for the better, right? Like we saw this weekend, like people insulting one another in some ways. You're like, okay, like yeah, but I mean, I get them. Like I'm really like it's not that I have a problem with it, but like I see like where it can lead to, right? And it's not good for kids to see because it can go to a place where a kid like ends up hurting themselves. They don't understand what these guys are doing. They're building the fight, the promotion. They take it like to heart. So I just think like we can raise the standard of MMA. We can raise the standard of how you talk to people. We can raise the standard of how where respect lies. I get all the trash. I talk trash to my teammates all the time, but I'm not going to go into some places that are outside the forbidden places. And it's not because somebody's trying to be tough or weak. Like you can go handle it if you want, but it's more so. I think 20 like it could be so much better. So 2024 for me is like where I want to set the standard for MMA. You fight, you claim victories, you stay active, you get finishes, which I will do every fight. You want to claim victory, get these finishes. Um, Multiple titles next year, right? Multiple weight classes, Lord's will, for unification and in the season. So could get that title again. And then I'm gonna go to PFL Europe fights, PFL Africa when that starts, Middle East fights, Australia fights. So I'm gonna be around meeting new people, building business, and sharing on how your life can be so much better. Because my life doesn't stop in 2023, and it's gonna go glory to glory to glory to everlasting glory. So like for me, that's what I want people to know. I want people to be a part of it. I want them to watch Chilobo's track. It's like a motorcycle adventure journey, life journey, and it'll have my fighting career included in it. And you can just see like, hopefully it's like a blueprint for your life to commit to an adventure and just walk by faith. Because for me, it's not strictly about myself. It's about God's called me to be. He's put in my life. And I'm so grateful that I'm in an organization where I can stay active so I can stay in y'all's faces. It's like, hey, I'm here for you. So let's talk, and man, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. You're going to see the best version of myself. You thought 2023 was the best me. That's not even scratching the surface of who I know I can be, right? And who I am going to be and who I am becoming and who I am now. So that's what 2024 is. Taking that as existence and trusting God. And like, man, I'm grateful. Just a year filled with gratitude.
Well, I'm grateful we got this opportunity to speak, and hopefully we'll do it a lot more in 2024. It would be dumb of me to not ask, what was the $1 million spent on?
I haven't spent it yet.
That's the best answer. That is legitimately the best answer. That's a man who knows what he's doing. I love that. I love that. So, in all seriousness, thank you so much. And I'll definitely be hitting you up for more interviews going into 2024 and everything that you do. I have the utmost respect for you as a person and as a fighter. I'm not just saying that. I truly do mean it. And all the best to you. Have a great holiday season, and we'll talk when we hear some news getting closer to 2024 for you.
Yeah, thank you so much. God bless you. Appreciate you having me on.
Thank you.